Alright everyone, this is Zero Budget Geek and welcome back to Pathfinder Adventure Card Game, Wrath of the Righteous. We are continuing the Into the Worldwound adventure with episode 3, the WARDSTONE Patrol. Crusaders of Iomede patrol the Worldwound, guarding the magic wardstones that hold abyssal hordes at bay. As the wardstones begin to crumble, valiant defenders such as the brave Sir Ilvan are the last line of defense. Will they be enough to turn back the demonic hordes? During this scenario, if you fail a check to defeat a Bane, you may recharge a card that has the Soldier or Hireling trait to re-roll the dice. Take the new result. When you play the cohort Sir Ilvan on a check to defeat a monster, examine the top card of the Blessings deck. If it has the Corrupted trait, banish Sir Ilvan and summon and encounter the henchman Corrupted Soldier. The locations in this adventure are the Befouled Altar, the Family Tomb, the Guard Post, the Wounded Lands, and the Cavern. Okay, here we go. Here's our setup as normal. We have the adventure cards up there. We have the locations over here, the location decks. We have the Blessings deck here to count out the turns and the character's hands. We have the Hunter, the Summoner, and the Shaman over here. We've drawn their starting hands, and I think we're going to do something a little bit different this time. We're all going to all start off at the same location over here, the Cavern. Let's zoom in so you can see why. At the Cavern, it says if you move or are moved from this location, move to a random other location. So that could be problematic. When we try to go here, we will get moved somewhere else. So I think if we just all start off here and then we all work together and drill down and just try to close off this location, then we don't have to deal with those shenanigans. Alright, during this adventure we have an extra cohort. We have Sir Ilvan, and he has the ability that says, reveal this card to add 1d8 to your check to defeat a Bane that has the Outsider trait. Or we can bury this card to add 2d8 to your check to defeat a Bane that has the Outsider trait. And during your give a card step, reveal this card to give it to another character at any location. So we can move this guy around between us. But since Charger seems to be sort of our weakest character in combats with Banes, we're going to have Charger go ahead and hold on to Sir Ilvan for now. Okay, as usual, we're going to have our Hunter start things off. So we'll flip over the top card of the Blessings deck, and now it's her turn. Alright, so first thing Adwin's going to do on her turn, she's going to go ahead and play Laren. We can display this card to examine the top card of the location deck. Okay, let's look at the top card. This is just an examine. It is a monster, Cave Lizard, combat of 11. If defeated during your exploration, you may explore your location. Okay, that's good. If undefeated, shuffle the Cave Lizard into a random open location. Alright, so let's go ahead and deal with this guy. Now, actually, we were only revealing that because of Laren, but, we are going to do our one explore for the turn and encounter that Cave Lizard. So I think we're going to go ahead and use this heavy crossbow. For your combat check, reveal this, and we get to use our range skill, which is a d12 plus 1, and we get an additional d10. So I don't think I'm going to spend any blessings or anything, so we're just going to use just that. Alright, so we just need an 11 to defeat this. We have 2 dice plus 1, and we get 6, and 6 is 12. So we defeat the Cave Lizard, and it says if undefeated, if defeated during your exploration, which we were exploring, you may explore your location. So we'll get rid of that guy, and we're going to go ahead and explore and look at the next card. A magic padded armor, Constitution Fortitude of 4. Discard this card to reduce combat damage dealt to you before or after you act by 2, which is nice. And we can banish this to reduce all damage, and if we're proficient with light armors, we may recharge this card when we reset our hand. Alright, this is pretty cool. We'll try to acquire this card. Alright, well, our Hunter's Constitution is only a d6, and we need to get a 4. We don't have any bonuses, and I don't want to spend anything extra, so we'll just roll it straight off. If we get it, nice. If we don't, well, too bad. we roll a 4, so we get the magic padded armor to our hand. So now our hand is overfilled right now, and I'm gonna do something I don't get to do very often. While displayed, I can recharge another card to put this card into my hand. So since we have two weapons here, we don't really need both of them. I'm gonna go ahead and recharge this hand crossbow because it's a little bit weaker. So I recharge that. That lets me put Laren back in my hand, and then I'm gonna play Laren again to be able to examine the top card of our location. Okay, we look at the top card, and there's a scythe up there. It's a strength melee of 9 to acquire. For your combat check, review this to use your strength for melee plus 2d4, and you can discard this for more attack. This actually is not a weapon that any of us really want to use, so I don't think we're gonna spend any cards to go ahead and explore again. So the hunter's gonna end her turn. Alright, we're going to go ahead and flip the top card of the Blessings deck for the Summoner's turn. Okay, the first thing our Summoner is going to do, he's going to call out Padreg here. And while this card is displayed, when you attempt a Strength check and do not play a weapon, you may put a card on top of your deck to add your Arcane skill plus the scenario's Adventure deck number to your check. You may banish any number of monsters. For each monster banished, add 1d4 to your check or whatever. Anyway, this lets us do better with strength checks. So we're gonna have Padreg out there. Alright, so we already know what was up here. He's gonna explore, he's gonna find that scythe which we knew was there. We can't get it because I only have a d6 for strength and this requires a 9, and nobody really wants it anyway, and there's no penalty for not picking up a boon, so we're just gonna go ahead and pass up on that. Alright, I think we're gonna be a little bold here because I feel like a little bit of waste of a turn, so we're gonna go ahead and use our Teamster here. Discard this card to explore your location. Now normally this guy helps us with non-combat constitution or wisdom checks, but we may be okay not having it, so we're gonna just discard him to go again. Okay, so we explore again and we encounter a barrier, can't speak, Corrupted Crusaders. Before you act, draw a random ally from the box and display it next to the scenario. Each character in your location summons and encounters the henchman Corrupted Soldier. The barrier is defeated or undefeated based solely on your encounter. If any Corrupted Soldiers were not defeated, banish the displayed ally, otherwise add it to your hand. So Balazar, our summoner, he at least needs to beat the one that he's facing in order to beat this. But if we all win, then we actually get this ally. So let's see what the ally is. Okay, so I grab the pile of allies. I'm going to shuffle these up and then cut it, and this will be the one we are trying to rescue. Belphis Loomis. What does she do? Reveal this card to draw an armor, an item, and a weapon from the box. Banish 2 and set aside 1. Then banish this card to add the card you set aside to your hand, or bury this card and banish that card. Alright, so this character will give us some nice stuff. So let's see if we can rescue her. Alright, so we'll have our hunter face one of these Corrupted Soldiers. First, it is a combat of 9 or charisma diplomacy of 6. Well, we're terrible at that, so we're going to just go ahead and fight this guy. We're going to go ahead and use our heavy crossbow. That'll give us a D12 plus 1 plus a D10. And we're going to go ahead and shuffle Laren into our deck. That will give us another D8. So I think that's it. Alright, we'll roll these up. We just need to get a 9, but I want to try to, give it a good shot and try to defeat him. Have all the characters defeated. That is a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 1 is 10. So just barely, but our hunter defeated a Corrupted Soldier. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and have Shardra go ahead and go next. Now we can choose whichever order we want. So I think what we're going to do is she's going to cast a spell. She's going to cast her Viper Strike. Here, for your combat check, discard this card to use your Divine skill plus 2d4. Well, her Divine skill is a d10 plus 3, which is nice. And then this gives us 2d4. Now, this guy is technically a henchman card, so we can reveal the Sage's Journal to add another 1d4 to the check to defeat it. And that'll be pretty much it. So we roll these 4 dice plus 3. As long as we don't roll all ones, we just need to get a 9. So I have a 6 plus 3 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So Shardra defeats her corrupted soldier. Now she needs to try to see if she can recharge the spell. It is a divine check of 6, and we have plus 3. So D10 plus 3. And that is a total of 9. So we get to recharge the Viper Strike. Alright, now it's Balazar's turn to fight a corrupted soldier. So this is the one that we really want to make sure we win. So it's a strength check. His strength is a D6. Ooh, I don't want that on a 6. I want it on the roll after. I'm superstitious. And then because he has Padrig, he can put a card on top of his deck. We'll put this Brilliance on top of the deck, and that'll give me my arcane skill, which is a D10 plus 2. I think that's pretty good to get a 9, but we really want to make sure, after all of that, we want to make sure we defeat this. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and spend a blessing to give me another D6. So we have 3 dice plus 2 to get a 9. It's a little bit of overkill, but you know, after all of that, we want to make sure we succeed at this. So we need a 9 total. We rolled an 8 plus 1 is 9, and on. We have defeated the corrupted soldier. Okay, so we fought off these corrupted crusaders, and we've rescued Belphis Loomis. She comes to Balazar's hand. Okay, I don't think we're going to keep her around. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use her for ability. So reveal this card to draw an armor, an item, and a weapon from the box, and we basically get to keep one if we want. So random armor. So here are the armors, and we'll just pick one from the center there. A corroded helm. That one is not. If this card is a corrupted cherry, random card from your discard pile, or you may not play this card. So that's not good. And then we need to get a random item. Oh, here are the items. We'll just grab one there. Trapsmith gloves. Those are also not that great. And what else? And a random weapon. Alright, so we'll get the weapons here. And alright, we'll grab that one, whatever that is. A lance, which none of us want. So we kind of don't want any of those. So we can then banish this card and the card you set aside to hand, or bury this card and banish that card. Well, we don't really want. I could take these Trapsmith gloves. Or we could just keep her. You know what? We don't really. Actually, I'll keep these Trapsmith gloves because there's at least another barrier here. So she goes away. She gave us some Trapsmith gloves. Alright, Padrick is done with his turn. So he's going to draw back up to his hand size, which is 6. So it's 2, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, we'll go ahead and fluke the blessings to go to our shaman's turn. Okay, she explores the top card, and it is an item. Demon Hunter's Handbook. Intelligence knowledge of 9. Hey, that's what she's good at, knowledge. Recharge this card to add 1d4 plus the Bane's Adventure deck number to your check against a Bane that has the cultist or a demon trait. After playing this card, you may succeed an intelligence or knowledge check with a difficulty of 5. Plus twice the Bane's Adventure deck number to reveal this card instead of recharging it. Well, this could be useful, so we'll attempt to get it. Okay, so Chardra's knowledge skill is actually a wisdom check for her, and she gets plus 2 to it, which is she gets a D10 plus 2. We can reveal Kolo. He finally gets to do something to add 3 to the knowledge check, so we have plus 5 to the knowledge check in addition to our roll. So we'll go ahead and roll that straight up, and we need a 9, and we rolled a 6 plus 5 is 11, so we acquired the Demon Hunter's Handbook. So something we really haven't been using, and I totally forgot about this, but Shardra has the ability that says when you succeed at a knowledge check, you may examine the top card of your location deck. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we look at the top card here, and it is a monster, a worm demon. It's a combat of 10. The demon is immune to electricity and poison. If undefeated, bury an ally from your hand or your discard pile. So this guy's not too bad. So I think we're going to have to end our turn. We don't have anything to go again. Now we have too many cards in hand. We have 7 cards and our hand size is 5. And I was actually going to discard this blessing to go again, but then I realized at the bottom it says you can only do that if the top card of the blessings deck is corrupt. This is a corrupted blessing. So if the top card of the blessing deck is corrupted, then we can use this to explore again. But since right now it's not, we cannot use this to explore again. So we're gonna, and we have nothing else that lets us go again. So we're gonna have to discard 2 cards. So I think unfortunately I'm gonna have to get rid of this Demon Hunter's Handbook and the Sage's Journal, because the bonuses they give us, the Blessing of Baphomet can do that plus better. So we have some heals on our deck, so we'll be able to, we'll be able to get some cards back. Alright, it's our hunter's turn, and we're going to have her go ahead and take on that worm demon. Okay, at the beginning of the turn, she can search her deck or discard pile for her cohort. So we will get Laren, that comes to her hand. She calls it up, and we shuffle our deck. And we're going to go ahead and just play Laren now, even though we know what card's going to over there. So we're going to play Laren. That's going to let us see that it's a worm demon over there. But we're going to go ahead and encounter the worm demon. And we're going to be using our heavy crossbow, which gives us a dexterity of a D12 plus a D10 plus 1. God, I keep forgetting. We've done this already. And I don't think I'm going to spend anything else on that. Alright, here we go. We just need a 10. It shouldn't be too hard. Oh my god, we rolled a 10 just on that die. So we defeat the worm demon. Alright, I think I want to hurry up and try to push through this location. We've been here, it feels like a long time. So we're going to use Chuffy Lick Wound. Discard this card to explore your location. And it has other text on it, but we don't need to worry about it. Alright, so we get to explore again. Okay, let's see what it is. An ally, a researcher. Intelligence, knowledge of 7 to get it, or charisma, diplomacy of 6. This adds 1d6 to your non-combat intelligence or charisma. We can discard this to explore your location. I don't think I'm going to be able to acquire this. Those are skills that I'm not good at. Alright, well, my intelligence or charisma are not high enough to get that card, and I don't think it's worth expending a bunch of resources to try to get this. So we're just going to go ahead and pass up on the researcher. So she'll end her turn and reset her hand. We get a hand crossbow, and we'll flip this and go to the summoner's turn. Alright, so something we haven't been doing, Pedrick can actually, our summoner can actually discard spells to draw random monsters from the box, which he can use in combat. So this brilliance only adds to intelligence checks, and I don't think I'm going to really use it. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that to draw a random monster from the box. And I got a rat swarm. So I will be able to use this in combat to get a D4 or a D6 if the thing I'm fighting has a trait that matches these. Okay, let's go ahead and explore the location. Henchman, it is a Brimorak. It is a monster, outsider, demon, veteran. Check to defeat a combat of 12. He's immune to electricity and fire. All damage dealt by the Brimorak is fire damage. After you act, if the check to defeat the Brimorak had the piercing or slashing trait, the Brimorak deals 2 fire damage to you. Ooh, he spews out flame. If defeated, you may immediately attempt to close the location. So let's see how we're going to defeat him. Okay, well, this is going to be by default, it is a strength check. We're going to use Pedrig's ability to put a card on top of our deck. We'll go ahead and put these Trapsmith gloves. We don't need that right now. So that lets us use our arcane skill, which is a D10 plus 2. I'm going to go ahead and discard this rat swarm. It's going to give us an additional D4. And all we need to do is get a 12. So we got 3 dice plus 2. I think that's pretty good. So let's roll that up. And we got a 8, 9, 10 plus 2 is exactly 12. And we didn't use something with the piercing or slashing, so we defeat the Brimorak. Oh, I tossed him away, but he actually is a monster, so we can actually put him in our hand. And now we can try to attempt to close the location. Okay, so this is a strength check of 5 to close this. Well, Balazar's strength is a 1d6, and we can Shardra can recharge Kolo to add 1d8 to a check by a character a location to defeat a barrier or close a location. So that'll give us another 1d8 by recharging Kolo. And I think we want to just be sure we close this. So Balazar is going to spend a Blessing of Ascension to add another 1d6. So we just need to not roll really crappy. We needed 5 total. And more than enough. I know it was overkill, but this was a problematic place to close. So on closing, move to a random open location. So we'll banish all this and figure out where we end up. Okay, we'll roll a 1d4 to see where Balazar ends up. I rolled a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he'll end up over here at the Wounded Lands. Alright, now Balazar's done with his turn, so he's going to reset his hand. He has 4 cards here. His hand size is 6, so 5 and 6. Okay, let's floop the top card here and go to the Shaman's turn. Alright, well, to close this Wounded Lands, it's succeed at a Wisdom or Survival 8 check. Chardra's pretty good at Wisdom, so she's going to go ahead and go there. And actually, I think eventually I'm going to have the Hunter go there too, because she's good at survival checks. So we'll go there and explore the top card of the location. It is a Scale Mail, Constitution Fortitude of 4. Recharge this card to reduce combat damage dealt to you by 2 or by 3 if the damage dealt to you before or after you act. Oh, this is really cool. So we're going to try to acquire that. Alright, well, her Fortitude check is a D10 plus 2. So we have a pretty good chance at getting this Scale Mail. Oh, no. So I rolled a 3 total. So we don't get the Scale Mail. This was, man, this is really good. But, oh well, we lose it. Alright, well, that'll be it for Chardra's turn. She's going to go ahead and reset her hand. Oh, she get a Cure Spell. And now the Hunter's turn. Alright, our Hunter's also going to go ahead and go to the Wounded Lands and explore there. We find a short bow. Oh, this should be good. Dexterity range of 3. For your combat check, reveal this card to use your dexterity range skill plus 1d6. Man, that's not that great, but we'll pick up this card anyway. Alright, well, our dexterity range is a d12 plus 1. As long as we don't roll a 1, we will get it. So I rolled an 8, so we get the short bow to a hand, but we have too many cards in our hand. Our hand size is 5, so I'm gonna go ahead and use Laren's ability to recharge a card to put. So I'll recharge this short bow. Actually, I'm gonna keep the short bow and recharge this hand crossbow because I can discard the short bow to help another character at another location that might be useful to help Chardra. So that puts Laren in our hand, and then I'm gonna play Laren again, and that'll let me look at the top card of the location. Alright, we'll look at the top card of this place. And it's a barrier there, Temptation of Arms. Okay, we know what these are. Draw 3 weapons from the box. If the scenario's adventure deck is 3 or higher, it's not. You may choose one and add it to your hand, banish any not chosen. If you added one to your hand, the barrier is undefeated. A character location is dealt 1d4 plus 1 combat damage, otherwise the barrier is defeated. So we can basically be tempted by a couple of weapons, and if we take the weapon, you know, it might be something good that we find, we take some damage, or a character takes some damage, and then this is not defeated. But after you act, banish this barrier. So well, anyway, that was just a peek ahead, so we're actually not encountering that at the moment. Okay, we'll pass things off to the summoner. Alright, well, we already know what this is. He's gonna explore, find this, and we're not going to choose any. If you added one to your hand, no, we're not going to do anything. So otherwise, the barrier is defeated. So we're not going to be tempted. After you act, banish this barrier. So we just ignore that. That just goes away. So just wasted our turn. And I hate wasting turns. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and use this Blackwing Librarian. Discard this card to explore your location. So we'll go ahead and go again. And we find an item, Potion of Night Vision, Intelligence Craft of 5. Nobody has that great of that skill. Banish this card and choose a character at your location. That character may examine the top 3 cards of the location deck, then shuffle it. That's actually cool, so we're definitely going to try to acquire that. Alright, well, Balazar's intelligence is not too bad. It is a D8, so he has a chance. I don't have anything to add to it, and I don't think it's really worth it that much to spend to get it, because I mean, it lets us look at the next 3 cards, but then we shuffle the location, so it is good information, but you know, it'd be better if it let them in the same order. Anyway, let's go ahead and roll it. We need a 5 or better, and we rolled a 3, so we pass up on the potion of night vision. Alright, Balazar is going to be done with his turn. 2, 4, 5, and 6 cards. Oh, his own researcher. Okay. Alright, and on to the shaman's turn. Okay, she's gonna go ahead and explore the wounded land, and another henchman, another Brimarak, combat of 12, and after you act, if we hit him with piercing or slashing, he deals 2 fire damage to you. Wow, good thing she does not use weapons. Alright, so this kind of sucks because I would normally use my fiery glare or my fire blade, but they both have the fire trait, which the Brimarak is immune to, so we can't use those. But we could. So it defaults to a strength check, which will be a D6. Charger strength is a D6. This is our first exploration of the turn, so we can use this Blessing of Baphomet to get 2 dice to the check. So that'll give us that, and then we can use Sir Ilvan. Reveal this card to add 1d8 to your check to defeat a Bane that has the Outsider trait. So that'll give us another d8, or we can bury this card to get another 2d8. But before we roll this, there is something the scenario said when we use him. Alright, so it says when we use him to fight a Bane, we have to look at the top card of the Blessings deck, and if it has the corrupted trait, basically he turns against us. So it does not have the corrupted trait, so he's fine. He does not turn evil yet. Alright, let's roll these up. We just need to get a 12 off of 4 dice. Shouldn't be too hard. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 exactly, and we didn't we punched him in the face, so that is not piercing or slashing, so he's defeated, and we can attempt to close the wounded land. We need a wisdom check of 8 in order to close this. Her wisdom is a D10. We're going to have our hunter is going to spend a Blessing of Ascension to give her another D10. 2d10 to get an 8. I don't really have anything else that I can use to add to it, so that'll be it. We need an 8. Alright, we rolled an 8 just on this die, so we're able to close the location. Alright, so all of these get banished, and it does say on closing, bury a boon. Oh, that sucks. Alright, well, we gotta do that. Alright, well, this is terrible. We have to bury a boon, and this cohort does not count as a boon. These cohort cards count as support cards, so we can't bury him, and I'd like to because I don't want him turning on me. Oh, we don't want the cure. I guess it'll be this fire blade, because the fire glare does the same thing, plus has an extra ability on it. So we bury this so we don't have access to that for the rest of this adventure. And actually, I think I'm actually going to do a cure right now on, actually I'm going to do it on Balazar because he's used up a number of cards. So we're going to cast this 1d4 plus 1 random cards. So we'll roll that. He gets 4 cards. We'll do that off camera. And then we need to try to see if we can recharge his divine skill of 8. His divine is d10 plus 3. So d10 plus 3 to get an 8 to recharge it. We only got a 6, so this gets discarded. And we're ending our turn here, so we need to draw up to 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're done with our turn. Okay, on to the hunter's turn. Alright, well, we have 3 locations left, and the Befouled Altar and the Family Tomb aren't too bad, though. The Family Tomb does have ability, says when a character dies, all characters at this location die, so we need to make sure not to die. Now, to defeat this one is summon and defeat the henchman Cultist of Baphomet, which isn't too bad. And this one is summon and defeat the henchman in white, which those guys are kind of problematic. Now, I think we kind of want to avoid this guard post because at the start of your turn, summon and counter the henchman corrupted soldier. So I don't want to have to fight something at the beginning of every single turn. So our hunter is going to go ahead and go to this family tomb. And then I think I'm going to have the other 2 characters work on the Befouled Altar. My idea is maybe try to get the boss into the guard post, and then it'll be a little easier to try to defeat him. Alright, so we explore and we find a barrier, temptation of Lucer. Draw 3 items from the box. Oh, okay, this is one of those. So we can draw 3 items, and if we keep one, we'll take some damage, and then this is not defeated, but we don't want to do that. So we can just choose to ignore that, and then we banish this barrier. So that goes away. Okay, I think that'll be it for our hunter here. So we'll draw a card, a cure. Oh, okay. I actually switched out between last episode and this one. Our shaman had drawn a extra cure, and I ended up choosing to give this to the hunter, and I didn't get to do that on camera, but you know, that's how she ended up with this. So she got rid of I think she had the enchanted fang spell and kept the cure. Anyway, she's done with her turn, so we'll go to Balazar's turn. Okay, Balazar is gonna go ahead and go over to the Befouled Altar, and we're going to explore the top card. It is a barrier. Spiked Pit Trap. Wisdom Perception of 7 to defeat, or Dexterity Acrobatics 8. I don't think he's really good at either of those. The difficulty of this is increased by the scenario. If defeated, you may explore again. That's cool. If undefeated, each character at this location is dealt 1d4 plus 1 combat damage, then end your turn. Alright, let's see how we're going to overcome this. Alright, well, Balazar's Wisdom and his Dexterity are both 1d6s, which isn't great. Well, it's not enough. We need a 7 to get it. So if we do a Wisdom, we need a 7. But we do have these Trapsmith gloves, and I can recharge this to give me 1 die, or I can bury this to give me 2 dice to defeat a being that has a trap trait, and this does have the trap trait, and I think this is a good time to do it. That's the only barrier at this location. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna bury this, and that'll give me 3 dice to try to get past or disable that spiked pit trap. So here we go, wisdom check, and we get an 11 just with those. So we defeat the spiked pit trap, and if defeated, you may explore again. Alright, so Balazar explores again, and he meets an ally, Mendevian Crusader. Divine of 9 to get him, or Charisma Diplomacy of 6. Discard this card to reduce damage dealt to you before you act at a character at your location to 0, or discard this card to explore your location. During this exploration, add 1 to your combat checks. Hey, this guy is cool. I think we're going to try the diplomacy check. Alright, well, we don't have the diplomacy skill, but we do have charisma, which is a d10, which is not bad. We need to get a 6, and I actually have a research here. Recharge this card to add 1d6 to your non-combat intelligence or charisma check. So we'll go ahead and do that, giving me an additional 1d6. And I think I want to cast a spell just to get these cards out of my hand. So we'll cast this glibness spell. That'll give me +3. It's kind of overkill, but you know, this will help us cycle through our deck. So we need to get a 6. We have +3 to the roll. We get a 6 just on that. So we acquire the Mendevian Crusader. We need to see if we recharge this. It is Arcane of 8. So it's a d10 plus 2 is the check. D10 plus 2, we need an 8. That is only a 6, so the glibness is discarded. And I think that'll be it for our turn. So we're going to go ahead and reset. Oh, actually, no, you know what? I'm going to discard this Mendevian Crusader to go again. And discard this to explore your location. During this exploration, add 1 to your combat checks. Okay, we'll explore again. And we get a blessing. Blessing of Ascension. Check to acquire Charisma 6 or Divine of 5. This is going to be a little tough. Alright, well, we only have 1d10 for our Charisma check, so we'll roll it straight up. If we get it, we get it. If not, oh, well, we roll a 7. We needed a 6. So we get this Blessing of Ascension, and you know what? Screw it. We're going to go ahead and go again. We're going to spend that blessing and go again. Alright, we explore, and this could be a mistake. Henchman, alright, a Brimrock, we've fought this before. Combat of 12, he's immune to electricity and fire. And if we do piercing slashing, he burns us. So, alright, we've got this guy's number, I think. Okay, so we have, it's a strength check, it's a d6. We're going to use Padrig to we'll put this potion of V-Skin on top of our deck. That'll give us, what does it give us? It gives us our arcane skill, which is a d10 plus 2. And this is going to be awesome. We're going to discard, or actually banish this card here. And it gives us a d4. But since it shares a trait with the other one, Outsider and Demon, it's the same exact card, it gives us an additional 1d6. So we have all those 4 dice plus 2 in order to get a 12. That's pretty good. I think we're kind of in the money here. We just need a 12, and we got a 6. Plus 5 is 11, plus 3, and even though that was cocked, it doesn't matter. We defeat the Brimrock without piercing or slashing. Man, I gotta remember, when he defeats monsters, he gets to keep them. Okay, so we need to summon and defeat a cultist of Baphomet to close this location. It's a combat of 10, which isn't too bad. Increase the check by the scenario deck. Before you act, if this is your first exploration of the turn, the cultist of Baphomet deals 1 combat damage to you. Well, it's not. If undefeated, shuffle the top card of the blessing deck into your location deck. If defeated, you may immediately. Okay, so all we gotta do is just beat this guy. Okay, well, just like we did before, it's a strength check, which is a d6. I'm going to use Padrig to put a card on top of my deck. I'll put this Blood Pariah. That'll give me d10 plus 2. And I'm actually going to discard this Brimrock, which gives me a d4. And the cultist is a veteran, and so is the demon. They share a trait. So that gives me an additional 1d6. So that gets banished. Let me put this guy here. So we need a 10. We have 4 dice plus 2. I don't even think I need to spend a blessing. So, alright. We'll just roll this up. And oh my god, we got a 10. Or is that a 0? No, we got a 10 just on that one die there. And anyway, the rest add up to more. So we defeat the cultist of Baphomet. Oh, actually, hold on. He's a monster. I keep forgetting, he's a monster, so I actually can keep that. No, he is summoned. He's a summoned creature, so you cannot keep summoned creatures. So he does go away. Confusion! Okay, so all of these get banished. And we haven't encountered the boss or anything. Just make sure the boss is not in there. So all of these go away. On closing, bury a blessing from your discard pile. Well, that kind of sucks because I did have, let's see, I had 2 blessings. Alright, so we'll bury one of these blessings of ascension. But now this location is closed. And we can go ahead and move things over to the shaman's turn. Oops, I forgot to reset the summoner's hand here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, that's not that great of stuff. Alright, so I have a little bit of a new plan. I'm going to have Shardra and Balazar take on the family tomb. And then I'm going to have the hunter move over to the guard post because I forgot that the hunter can recharge any card to evade a summoned the summoned hench or summoned creatures and stuff. So anyway, Charger's gonna go ahead and go to the family tomb right now, and she's going to explore. She finds a blessing, a wisdom or divine of 5. Alright, that's right up her alley. Alright, so it's a d10 plus 3. We'll go ahead and roll that up. Oh no! Oh wait, that's plus 3. All right, so I got exactly what I needed, which was a 5. So the blessing of Shaling goes to my hand. All right, so that's there. What do we have here? We have too many cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only have 5, so we got to use something. I guess I'll use this athlete. Discard this card to... He has 1d6 to your non-combat strength for dexterity check, but blessings are better than that. So we'll discard him to go ahead and go again. Okay, we explore in weapon, quarterstaff. For your combat check, reveal this card to roll your strength or melee die plus 1d6. You may additionally discard this card to add another 1d6. You know, this is actually... I normally don't really want it, but it's kind of worth going for since she doesn't really have any other weapons. I'll give it a try. So her strength's a d6. I'll just roll it straight up. If I get it, I get it. If not, no big deal. Oh, we roll a 4, so we get the quarterstaff. Yeah. Now I kind of regret getting it because we're back to having too many cards in hand right now. So I either got to discard something or go again. I kind of like having the quarterstaff as a backup weapon in case I run out of spells. So we'll go ahead and use this Blessing of Ascension to go again. I'm just afraid of digging too much with Shardra because she's not that great of a combatant. But let's see what we got. An item, Holy Phylactery, Divine of 6. I forgot what this is. During an encounter, bury this card to ignore the corrupted trait on a boon until the end of that encounter. After playing this card, you may succeed. Alright, so this lets us avoid the corrupted trait, which really has not really mattered to us. So I'm just gonna pass up on getting this because I don't... even if I got it, I'd probably just discard it. So we're just gonna go ahead and pass up on that and end our turn. Okay. On to the hunter's turn, and we still have plenty of turns left. Okay, so our hunter is going over to the guard post, and now since he didn't start his turn there, he doesn't have to encounter the corrupted soldier right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and explore. And weapon, composite bow, dexterity range at 8. For your combat check, review this card to use your dexterity or range skill plus your strength die. That's kind of good. If not proficient with weapons, the difficulty of this check is increased by 4. If proficient with weapons, discard this card to add your strength die to a combat check by a character at another location. This is actually pretty nice. I'll try to get this. So technically, this composite bow is better than, say, like our short bow. But for our character in particular, it won't matter because, alright, for instance, the short bow gives our dexterity range plus 1d6. This one gives us our range skill plus our strength, but our strength is a d6 with that character, so it won't matter. So I'm just gonna roll regularly, a d12 plus 1. If I get it, I get it. If not, you know, no sweat. I did not get it, so we pass up on the composite bow. I'm gonna go ahead and use Laren's ability to recharge a card to bring her back to my hand, and then I'll play her again to examine the top card of our location. Alright, we get to look at the top card. It is an ally, a frog, wisdom survival of 6 to get this. Discard this card to explore your location. If you would encounter a Bane that has the obstacle or trap, you may instead bury this card to place the Bane on the bottom of its location deck. Alright, well, that could be useful. Alright, the hunter's gonna go ahead and reset her hand, and we'll pass things on to the summoner's turn. Okay, our summoner is gonna go ahead and come over here to the family tomb and help out Shardra with this. So he explores and finds an armor, stalking armor, constitution fortitude of 4, recharges to reduce combat damage dealt to you by 2, reveal this card tattoo to your stuff or perception check. This is a pretty cool armor. I like this one. We'll try to get this. Alright, well, it's not very important for him to get this, so his constitution is a d6 plus nothing, so we need a 4 or better to try to get it. Well, I roll a 5, so we get the stalking armor. Now, I'd have to discard something, so I might as well play a card to go again. I can discard this Blessing of Abraxas. Oh, you know what? I never noticed that Blessing of Abraxas. After you play this card, if the top card of the Blessing's discard pile is the corrupted trait, discard this card. I didn't realize that. Well, we're gonna go ahead and play this to go ahead and get rid of this. So we'll play this to go ahead and go away because the top card of the Blessing's discard pile is not corrupted. All right, we're going again. Okay, the top card is a spell, Dazzle. Intelligence Arcane of 4. For each combat check, use this card to use your Arcane skill plus 2d4. After playing this card, if you do not have the Arcane skill, banish it. Otherwise, you may succeed on Arcane 6 check. Well, this guy this is an attack spell, and Balazar doesn't really like attack spells. Alright, well, we'll see. Intelligence. Well, his intelligence is a d8. Is it a knowledge? Intelligence arcane. Actually, no, his arcane skill is a d10 plus 2. So we'll use that. D10 plus 2. We should be able to get it. We might as well push one. We roll a 9. Alright, so we get that Dazzle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have too many cards in hand. I guess I'm going to use this Blackwing Library. Discard this card to explore your location. We'll keep pushing through. Okay, we'll look at the top card. And there's the henchman, Brimarack. Alright, we know the deal. 12, don't use electricity and fire. And that'll be it. So we should be able to defeat him. Okay, so I'm going to need you guys to maybe correct me down in the description box. But Balazar has the ability that says, you may discard a spell to draw a random monster from the box. Now, generally, the rule is, unless something says specifically when you play, you can play at any time. And normally, when you're in the middle of a check, you can't play other cards. So I'm not sure how it really works out. But anyway, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that ability to discard. Is it discard? Yeah, we're gonna discard this Dazzle to draw a random monster from the box. And again, if I'm doing this, or if I'm not supposed to be doing this right now, just correct me down in the description box. But for now, I'm doing it. So we got a giant maggot swarm, vermin swarm basic. That's not too great. I wanted to get and actually, you know what? I'm gonna discard this agility to summon another random monster, and it's a mongrel wizard. Alright, none of those match Brimarack there, but we want to fight him. So let's see here. It's a strength check, so we have a d6. We're gonna throw this potion of beast skin on top of my deck to get a d10 plus 2. I'm gonna go ahead and discard one of these. We'll discard this maggot swarm. That gives me a 1d4. So we have 3 dice plus 2. Do I want to spend a blessing to try to get that? I don't think so. I think we've got this in hand. And actually, you know what? Maybe I will. I'll discard that mongrel wizard to give me another 1d4 just to be sure. And we got a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we failed, but charges at the location, and we haven't done this. When a character location will fail a check to defeat a Bane, you may recharge a spell to allow that character to re-roll the check. That character takes the new result. We hadn't done that before, so Charger's gonna go ahead and recharge her Fiery Glare, and that's kind of dangerous for her. But if we can defeat this Brimarack, then we should be able to close this location. So let's try that again. We have plus 2 to the roll, so we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this time we defeat the Brimarack. He does go to my hand because I'm the summoner. Now we need to fight a white in order to close this location. Okay, so we're facing the white. It's a combat of 10 to defeat, or a wisdom divine of 8. Well, it'll have to be combat. It's immune to mental and poison traits. Before you act, the white deals 1 cold damage to a random character at your location. When that character is dealt damage, she buries those cards instead of discarding them. So we'll roll a d4. On a 1 or 2, it'll be Balazar. On a 3, 4, it will be the shaman. So let's see what we roll. I rolled a 2, so Balazar has to lose a card. I think I'm gonna have him lose this blood periap, so that gets buried. Okay, now we gotta fight this. Combat of 10. It is undead white, so alright, same thing. Strength check. We're gonna put a card on top of our deck. We'll put this stalking armor. That'll give us a d10 plus 2. We'll discard this card here. That'll give us an additional d4. Not discard, it's a banish. And screw it, I'm going to use this Blessing of Ascension to give me another my base die, which is a d6. That should be all we need. All right, let's go ahead, roll it up. We just need to get a 10. We rolled 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 2 is 10, so we defeat the white. Alright, so this closes down, and it does say before closing, examine the location deck, then set aside those cards. On closing, shuffle those cards into this location deck. Examine the location deck. Okay, so this closes. We get to look at these cards here, and then we basically put them back. So it's 2 monsters and a blessing. So basically, if there's cards at a closed location, we can keep exploring there to try to get them, but we don't want to even mess with monsters there. So that'll be it for Balazar's turn, and we'll go ahead and turn things over to the shaman. Alright, before we go to shaman though, I gotta reset my hand, and I forgot I could have taken that white. No, I couldn't have. It's summoned. Alright, we gotta reset my hand here. So 1, oh, my deck's getting small here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 3 cards in my deck. I need some healing. Alright, well, it's Charger's turn, and you know, there's not much for her to do. I don't want to go over to the guard post because then I'll have to fight stuff. And I really don't want to fight things if I don't really have to. I could give this to another character, but all the other characters have their hands full, so we're just gonna kind of marinate. Let me see if I can draw. Well, we'll end our turn, and I'm hoping that I draw a cure. My other cure, I did not get it. All right, well, she ends her turn, and it goes to the hunter. Alright, well, at the beginning of my turn, I would have to encounter a corrupted soldier, but I have the special ability. I can recharge a card to evade a summon main, which that is. So I'll recharge this magic padded armor, and we evade it. So simple. Now we can explore. Now, I think we saw this before, didn't we? Yes, a frog. Wisdom survival of 6, which we're pretty good at that, so let's roll that up. Okay, well, we have a d8 plus 3 to try to get this, so pretty good chance. We'll roll that, and we rolled a 5 plus 3 is 8, so we get the frog. And because we know the boss is in this location, we might as well burn everything that we can to try to dig down. So discard this card to explore your location. If we encounter an obstacle, we can basically get away. So we'll discard them to go again, and we'll explore. And there is a monster, a bunyet. Combat of 9. Before you act, succeed a wisdom 9 check, or difficulty of your checks is increased by 1 for the rest of the turn, and damage dealt by may not be reduced. Alright, well, I can't make the wisdom check. I won't be able to succeed unless I get a blessing or something, and I don't think I want to do that just yet. So we'll fail the thing. So difficulty of all my checks are increased by 1 for the rest of the turn. We're gonna use this heavy crossbow that gives me my dexterity, d12 plus 1 plus D10. And we need to get a 10 to defeat the bunyip. So we roll. Oh my goodness, maximum damage. That is a 21. So we definitely defeat the bunyip. And do I want to go again? I have some healing, and I have, you know what? I'm going to use this Demon Hunter. Discard this card to explore your location. During this exploration, add 1d6 to your checks against beings that have the demon trait. So we'll do that. Alright, so we'll explore, and there he is, the villain, Savage. Check to defeat, a 15. He's immune to electricity and fire traits. All damage dealt by him is fire damage. Before you act, each character or location is dealt 1 fire damage. After you act, if your check to defeat Savage had the piercing or slashing trait, he deals 1d4 plus 1 fire damage to you. Well, if we beat him right now, we don't have to worry about it, but we will take 1 fire damage first. Okay, so this is kind of risky, but as for the fire damage, I'm actually going to let my cure spell go away, because if we can beat him now, we won't need the cure. So we let that go away. So now we fight. We need to get a 15, so we're going to use the heavy crossbow. That gives me my dexterity range, d12 plus 2. Plus it gives me a D10. And then that's all we can do with that. We can use this agility spell on myself. That'll give me plus 3 to my dexterity checks. So that is now plus 4. Sorry. So this was a D12 plus 1. So we have plus 4 to the roll at this point. We're going to shuffle Laren into our deck. And that'll give us another 1d8. Yes, I know I just put it on the bottom. It won't matter. That gives us another d8. Now, the other characters can spend blessings. So, let's see. Balazar will spend a blessing of ascension. And Chandra will spend a blessing of Shaylin. And so that'll give me another 2d12, so we got that here and that there. Can we add anything else to this just to be sure? Looks like none of the characters have anything else. Oh, actually, somebody has an enchanted fan. When a character at your location, nope. Alright, so that is everything we have here. Plus 4 to the roll. We just need to get a 15. Is it overkill, or will it be enough? We shall find out right now. Come on, we know what it's gonna be. 8 and 6 is 14, 16, and on. And we have defeated Savage. After you act, if your check to defeat Savage had the piercing or slashing trait, deals 1d4 plus 1 fire damage to you. It doesn't matter. You know, the only thing that matters is if it would kill me, but it doesn't. We have more than 5 cards there, so we wouldn't die even if we took full damage from that. So Savage is gone, and we have beat the scenario. Okay, for beating the scenario, each character gains a random ally that has the hireling or soldier trait from the box. So let's go ahead and do that now. We'll just cut this. I don't feel like shuffling. Alright, it needs to have soldier or hireling. So Adawan, nope, that's an animal. That is a soldier, right? Is that what it says? Soldier or hireling? Alright, Balazar gets a hireling there, and Shardra gets a caravan guard there who is also a hireling. Okay, so we've reset our decks. No rule changes to Adawan. Balazar now has a stalking armor and some trapsmith gloves, and Shardra now has a blessing of Shaylin, and she decided to keep that Demon Hunter's handbook. Okay, before we finish things off, I do have a question for you guys. So we only have 2 more scenarios left in this set, and I'm considering getting there's a version of this for the tabletop simulator. Would you be interested in seeing a version being played with that rather than this physical version that I have here? With that, I'd be more likely to do like a full campaign, because the next set of the card game isn't going to be out for several months, so we've got 2 more scenarios here, and then I don't have anything else for the Pathfinder Adventure Card Game. So would you be interested in seeing a digital version of it? I'd like to hear your thoughts. And guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate so much the encouragement from you guys. It keeps me going making these, because these are, they are a little bit time consuming, and it is some work to do, but I love doing it because you guys like it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and up in the upper right hand corner you can see links to more videos that I've done. So until next time, see you soon.